Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is King Monyay. I'm the leader and the captain of my destiny, and I will succeed because I believe I will. I was sent here to inspire those who are great and sometimes tend to forget it. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Listen, I have not abandoned y'all. I have been making some arrangements, but a lot of people ask me about my hair. They say, "Oh, your hair's so nice. Is that real?" Or they'll ask me questions like, "How long you been growing it?" and things like that. So, bam, this video right here, I want to tell you basically how to maintain your hair while doing time in prison, especially dreadlocks. So, wherever you're at, whenever you're doing time, there's going to be those guys who know how to do hair. They know how to do braids. Most of the time, people know how to braid. The same people who know how to braid know how to cut, or vice versa. You're gonna have somebody on the yard, and even if you don't, there is barbershops that the prison guards or the prison assigns to do the inmates' hairs. Usually, those guys are assigned that as a job. They work inside the barbershop or whatever, but they still charge, meaning they're not doing nothing for free. So you go in there, it might be like $2 or $5. I don't know. I never really got a haircut, but I did. Uh, I was always, first of all, let me say this: I'm always skeptic to let people touch my hair in prison, man. That's like a thing where it's like I consider my hair sacred, and I also consider the whole process of getting your hair done as an intimate process, And in prison, things like that can be seen as kind of shaky ground, iffy ground. What do I mean? I mean, anytime you willing to trust a man to sit down and have him stand behind you with his nuts against your back to do your hair, I mean, that's some dangerous shit. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you willing to just, sit there with a sheet around your body or whatever to catch the hair from getting on your clothes, and allow a man to take a razor and trim up your hair on your face in prison, that's some dangerous shit. So, there has to be an element of trust there. And so for me, I'm a real paranoid type of person. I wouldn't say paranoid. I would say I'm really cautious. And so I avoid all those type of high risk situations. I avoid those type of interactions for the longest because I didn't want to put myself in a compromising position, and I didn't want to have to whoop nobody's ass for fucking my hair up. So, but I was at California Men's Colony, and I started peeping game. I went to one of my Muslim partners, and I say, brother, I would like to get my hair done. Looking for a good barber, but I would prefer he be black and he be a Muslim. And that was my only request, because in my mind, I'm thinking if he's a Muslim, he's going to be wholesome. We had the same beliefs, and he got to be black because, that's the only way I'm going to be able to trust him. And so, bam, he said, you know what, I got somebody, you know what I'm saying? Doc is on the yard. Doc do everybody's hair. Doc is. And so I started peeping. I see everybody, sure enough, on the yard go to Doc. So, one day I walk up to Doc and I say, hey, what's up, Doc? Shalom Alaikum. I'm trying to get my hair done. What do you want? How much is it going to be? And he told me something like, you pay for 3, you get 1 free. You buy 3, you get 1 free. So something like that. And it was to the cent. Like, and each time you pay, I think it was $6. $6, because for me, I wanted my hair retwisted. Twisted down to the root or whatever. And so, bam, I go to Doc. I pay him a big old bag of M&Ms off of the canteen, off a package, big bottle of M&Ms and something else, but it equaled up to $20. I gave him $20 worth of stuff. I basically paid for 3 times off the dribble. I came and gave him $20 to let him know how serious I was. So bam, I get my hair done, twisting it, and we get to talking. When you do it, like I say, when somebody's doing your hair, the conversation, you conversate, it gets real intimate. Sometimes it starts out like, Yeah, so how long you been here? You know, where you from? And so the first time Doc did my hair, I noticed his conversation was a little bit deep. Deep in a good way. Like, okay, this is a deep brother. He really on his pro-black shit. He gets to talking about how the black is the original man and black is this and black is beautiful. And then he switches it up and says something like black that something to the extent that there is a woman side inside of all of us. We all have a feminine side. How man has a both masculine and feminine side. And if we learn how to embrace the feminine side, and so right there my antennas went up. Like, what the hell is this nigga talking about, man? And he, touching over here. I'm like trying to pull forward. He like touching on my hair and shit. And I'm like, man, so I go through with it, I go through with it, I don't entertain too much of it. I for sure don't agree with the shit. But I take mental note of it. Like, man, that was that motherfucker was drifting. And this is so some people, they drift, man. There's a lot of knowledgeable people in there, especially lifers, man. Hey, no disrespect to my lifers, man. Some of y'all cool, but some of y'all is losing your damn mind. So Doc was one of the ones. He had all this wealth of knowledge, all this knowledge of different books, but sometimes he drifts. Maybe I just ain't up to speed, but I ain't adapted to that one yet. So he talking about how the man needs to be in touch with his feminine side and this and that, and this is a feminine trait and this and that. But he really on some other shit. It sounds like some pruning to me. What do I mean by pruning? I mean, a lot of times you have guys, especially older guys, who would they think that they can manipulate your mind. They think that they can convince you that we're in prison and this is all we have. All we have is each other. And man, what we need to do right now is whatever we need to do to survive this. And right now, what I need you to do, man, is just go ahead and suck on this. And so ain't nobody ever said that name, but I done heard stories. But my antennas is always up for some weird shit like that, right? So that was just the first time. Got my hair done, bam. But I made a mental note. Second thing I didn't like. The first thing I didn't like, he that was some suspect conversation. The second thing I didn't like is when he tapered my hair. He said, you're supposed to taper the sides. He just took it down to the skin. I said, man, what is that? That ain't a taper. He said, oh, no, you got to wait. You got to look. Right now, you can't see. He's showing me the mirror. He said, you can't see right now because the sun. But he said, when you go in there, you're going to see it got a fade to it. I go back in, man. I don't see no fade. I'm like, man, this dude kind of fucked me up. But, the edge up was sharp. It was a sharp edge up. The hair was done real crisp. But I'm like, okay. That was first time. Before I started doing steak, like I say, everybody goes to this dude, the whole yard. But one day, and so I was on this is a California man's colony. So it's a 50-50 yard, what they consider non-designated at this time. And so one day I noticed Doc doing somebody's hair. But the person's hair he's doing is a notorious transgender. He's doing the transgender's hair. And so right there, I get really offended. I felt really played because I personally don't want nobody touching my hair who's been touching some transgender hair. I don't want to intermix that type of reputation. You know what I'm saying? I keep mine all the way solid. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with nobody that fuck with them. And so by him doing their hair, I had a big problem with that. But I had already paid this dude my money to do my hair 3 times. So I had some choices. I can just go get my hair done by this dude who's now doing transgender's hairs. He's basically doing everybody's hair. Or I can just chalk that up as a loss. Or I can get my money back and say, hey, you know what? I don't want my thing back. And so I chose the latter, man. I chose the latter. From that day forward, I just chose to. I still was cordial with Doc. Hey, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? If he see me, hey, assalamu alaikum. But I never ever went back and sat down in that chair because to me, that was enough signs of some trickery, and I didn't want to put myself in an uncomfortable situation. For 2, as far as the money, I didn't get the money back either because I felt like, you know what? chalk that up as a loss, man. You paid to learn this lesson. The lesson is, man, stick to your guns. In prison, hey, we ain't here to look cute. And I know sometimes you want to maintain yourself, but you got to learn how to do that shit yourself. Do it yourself, because you don't want to be, like I said, sitting in a chair or sitting at a table, you know, with another man, nuts on your back, or, just all behind you, because you never know who's a weirdo. You never know who's getting turned on by rubbing on your hair. You never know who's getting turned on by edging your lips up, making you look pretty, just how they like you. Like, this is just how I like my niggas to look, And so it's a lot of niggas in there who was actually doing that shit. They play makeup all day. All day, motherfuckers playing house or whatever you want to call it, like, edging each other up, doing hair, making each other look all nice and shit. For what, man? This is a dick farm, It's a straight dick farm. Ain't nothing here but dicks. But that was my take on it. So I didn't allow that dude to do my hair no more. I didn't get my money back. I didn't even ask him. And the lesson in that is quite simple, man. In prison, learn how to do your own shit. I'll tell you another story the next time about, doing people's hair, because I know how to do hair myself. I know how to braid and things like that, but I chose not to do it in prison. Like I say, just to protect myself and to protect my reputation and the things that I represent. We don't fuck around. So listen, man, I'm King Monyay. I'm the leader and the captain of my destiny. I do succeed because I believe I will. And I was sent here to inspire those who are great and sometimes tend to forget it. If you are looking for consultation, meaning you are preparing to go to prison and you need advice on prison preparation, if you are currently in prison or incarcerated and you need help while navigating through the system, or if you are in prison and planning on returning home and you are need some prison reentry services, I want you to go ahead, click the link below, subscribe, become part of the Monyay tribe. That way you can get all the help and the information you need. Like I say, I got over 20 years of experience with the California Department of Correction System. I'm on this channel. I've created this channel with you in mind so that we can go ahead and end this mass incarceration and help you become a better citizen and advance in society. Y'all stay safe and love yourself.